think we're going to do any of that nonsense. Anyway, let's check this out. Let's check it out. All right, let's see how this is happening here. Let's see what goes on. A friend of mine said just go on and pop on here and make it do what it do. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right now I'm gonna get in here and tighten my bathroom up a little bit and see who wanders in. Let's see what we got. What we got? Yeah, we don't want to do any of that. I don't really know about this. We're gonna figure it out. Yeah, we're not gonna filter anything. No filters. No, we don't want to do that either. Yeah, well, should put glasses on while I'm setting this up. So, and I'm not sure where they're at. So bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Because when I put it down, it disappears immediately. So, there they are. I know, let's see what we got here. Now, let's figure this out. Let's not do that. Let's do this. And we're going to show them all. Yeah, I don't need a moderator right now. We don't need any of this either. So, all right. Well, anyway, we're gonna move on with this. Let's see. I found this yesterday. It's called the Punchline Academy, and he's pretty fun. It's the Punchline Academy Lyric League series, and these cats are from Detroit. That's what I'm listening to. They're pretty good. It's not something I know the words to or whatever, but yeah. So yeah, we don't do that either. Probably won't do that. And we're just gonna move from this way. Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, he's pretty cool, Punchline. All right, but anyway, this is just a come on in and see what it's about type of thing while I go up in here and get my house together. My babies are gone. When I say babies, they're grown. It's funny. They're grown. But what we're going to do is, well, let's see about this. This is my high-tech equipment here. Whoa, whatever. But anyway, while we are doing things here, they got games on. Oh, that's that game stuff. Yeah, we're not going to stream with a game. We're not going to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we are gonna do anybody can participate. So anyway, let's see what it do. Cause I am in my Sunday best cleaning outfit. And we're gonna finish tightening up the bathroom. See, y'all, my kids are gone, so I was like hoping that, Mr. Him would come over and play today. I don't know. We're about to see. I am a bit demanding on him. I like attentiveness and last minute yeses, so we shall see. He doesn't always give me a last minute yes, so. Anywho, that's what we're doing. We're gonna clean the tub. Because if I have to spend the night alone tonight, then I'm gonna get in the bubble bath and figure it out. So anyway, I've been online visiting different channels, interacting with different people online, and there is just a plethora of good, kind people out there. And then there's always the plethora of butt tards out there. So we'll see what this ends up to be. Could be fun, could not be fun, but welcome in, welcome in. I'll let the girl. We're gonna see what it does. gonna see what it do. I don't intend to get into a whole lot of deep discussions today. Eventually we will. Today we just gonna keep it smooth. We gonna keep it light, keep it right, and we just gonna talk and figure it out. I had a I had a couple of, well, not really. I had one specific channel I messed with on a tough tip, but it wasn't helpful. Wasn't anything positive in my direction coming from dealing with a certain individual. I mean, if you know, you know. It is what it is. However, as soon as I shut the negative energy off and started looking and deciding who I was and was not going to deal with online, because I'm not for everybody, not really for people with the tender feelings and the talking points and the just goofy shit. I'm not with it. So if you into that goofy shit and them goofy talking points about all these types of people are bad or those types of people are this away or that away, you can go on and keep it a pushing. I definitely got some good advice from a channel that I like to deal with. Very, very kind and real person. And the funny thing is I found this person's channel in dealing with the channel that was really just an energy drain. So you never know. There's always a good person or good people amidst the bunch of weird stuff that's out there. You know, I like to show support to my local people, local channels, and people I feel have the same mindset that I have. And I'm going to do my best to be positive the majority of the time. There are a few things that I will eventually talk about and get into, but it won't be today. So if you came in and you're expecting to hear or talk about anything involving said people, it is what it is. This is different. I don't know what all these little gadgets and stuff are for. I'll eventually figure it out. So like I said, we just doing a little something here, cleaning the house, trying to put this oh Lord, back in order. I do have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo with a basement. However, I thought it was only right to give my older daughter the room, the master room with the bathroom, and I share the room with the little boy. Or the bathroom, not the room, because he has a room in the basement. It's just not considered a room on the paperwork. So, it is what it is. But like I said, they are both OUTSIDE with their people right now, which I'm glad that they have people to be around and to show them love and support. It's a little difficult when you're rocking by yourself. And the support is only what I make of it. Support is, far and few between. I do have a couple of, well, not even a couple. I have one person that I really do lean on, probably more than he would like. However, those kind of relations or those kind of situations lead to somebody wanting more out of it than the other one. And I told him off rip that I was gonna be the one to want more than the other one, so I may have to adjust my mindset on him. I don't know. That's the story for another day. However, it's good times cleaning the bathrooms. Always. Oh Lord, them these little boys with long hair. Ugh. See, and I am one of the people, I do not like to use toilet brushes and stuff like that. I get in and I get it done. I wash my floor on my hands and knees, like I do other stuff too. There are other things I do on my hands and knees, but that would be for another channel, which I do not have said channel on that tip. Oh jeez Louise, this little boy and his stupid freeform dreads, man. Ugh, so gross to me. I don't know. He's old enough to pick his own hairstyle now, and I don't like it. Little monster leaves hair everywhere. So I'm not sure where this will go and what it will do. However, I am glad if you did step in and check it out. That's cool. If you didn't, that's okay too, because this is just round one. Run one. This is like a test flight, if you will, like a test flight, just to get my feet wet, see what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it. Because keeping it real. I did have a motivation because I've had my channel since 2015, but I had a great motivator to go on and step my game up and at least be able to access live. That way I can address things as they come along. That way nobody can put a narrative out there about me, or get their team to rah and get her and all that kind of weird stuff. So that was really my motivation. And shout out to you, jackass. Shout out to you, my motivation, because I will be coming for the smoke show eventually. I will. It's not a problem. Ain't nobody scared. However, we're going to build this up. Because not everybody thinks I'm just a black space invader and some kind of weird white chick that's just what did old girl call it? Like a black man worshiper or whatever the hell old Cynthia G has said. Yeah. But, looking now, as to what was really said to motivate me to want to go live. That way I can clap back in real time and not have to send stuff hashtagged or whatever. Because I'm never scared and I never have. But that's irrelevant. We're going to keep it light today. We're going to keep it light. Because when that goes down, that might be a one for the books, for sure. Because I'm pretty positive for how somebody has spoke about me, that he really don't believe that I've been places and been around and seen faces, probably some of the same faces you've been around. Although, in my situation, I was seen but never heard, flat out. Seen but never heard. That's just how that went down. But I promise you, I'm never scared to come home to my city. I can go anywhere. Anywhere that I've ever been. I don't owe nobody nothing, and don't nobody owe me nothing. And it's all love when I pop up, or when they pop up out here. See, a couple of them got their own little channels and podcasts and stuff. You'd be surprised at the folks I know and been and moved in their circles. Now, whether they decide that they want to stoop to the level to address said jackass, that remains to be seen, because they feelings that wasn't hurt, mine was. Anyway, long story for another day, another time. However, I welcome you. I welcome you. If you're here, cool. If you're not, that's cool too. We're going to figure it out. I do have to give a shout out to Mac Deuce. Mac Deuce was very instrumental in putting me up on the game to be able to make the move I wanted to make. And he ain't no funny style kind of guy. He allows this non-melanin chick to come in and talk her shit because he knows when it's appropriate, it's appropriate. Simple as that. And when it's not appropriate, we speak on it and we move on. See, we don't make videos about each other and talk nasty shit. So we don't do that. So shout out to Mac Deuce and Land Life and Mob Type and my other girl whose live I was just on, but we're going to keep that name up out of it. She doesn't really want that kind of attention. And that's cool. That is cool. She don't do other people's lives. Especially since the last time she did, she got her face plate in. Oh Lord, this big old dog really be doing something here. Let me make me some, let's see. Even though my house is not funky, I do have a big old dog, and he is a hairy boy. So we're gonna definitely take care of this floor in here. I do wish that my friend that's a boy, but not my boyfriend, I sure wish he wasn't so hard-headed. I sure do, but you live and learn. I learn lessons every day about people, And I'm going to tell you what, ladies, if you're kicking it with a man who don't want to go nowhere, like away from you, definitely is a healthy part of your life. However, you feel like it ain't what you want it to be, I say be patient a little bit, see what it is, be consistent. A lot of men be hurt. They got messed over by them 304s, them big back loudmouth chicks. See, I'm a loudmouth and I may be a bit big back, but I can certainly take direction from my mans or a real man in my presence. I don't argue with men. I sure don't. I just come from. Oh, that's that. And I don't know what it is with this soundbar. I have to hang it up in my bathroom because I sure like to listen to my music when I'm in the tub. However, I have to mount it on the wall. And for some reason, when the inspection was done before this place was purchased, I don't know, we didn't check, I guess, the durability, I just think this place needs to be gutted. It needs new drywall. I think before I acquired it, it was a rental property. As a matter of fact, I'm positive it was a rental property because I still get mail for the people who were here beforehand, court mail, all kinds of stuff, because they had domestic issues. I came through and, cleaning and what. I haven't painted yet. It didn't really need to be painted immediately. It's definitely something I'm going to get into. However, when we first got it, we had to come through and, obviously clean, when you move in somewhere, even if the landlord cleans it, which was not the case here. This is mine. It is what it is. However, you still want to put your own touch on it and clean. But when we came through and we started cleaning, we noticed blood splatter and there's a bullet hole in my garage door. And this is not even that kind of neighborhood. This is a pretty decent place in the area where I'm at. What is this? Hold on. Okay. It's a pretty decent place in the area where I'm at. That kind of, tomfoolery doesn't really happen here. But like I said, they had domestic stuff going on here. And I noticed when cleaning that stuff up and even mounting my TVs and things like that, that the drywall is, I don't even know what the real word for it is, but it definitely needs to be gutted and redone. That's definitely in the works. However, it's in the works, but if it's got to come out of my pocket, ugh, I really don't. I really don't want to have to work any extra to do it. So we'll see. There's always there's always different programs and stuff that are out and about that will help homeowners or condo owners in the county that I live in. They have that kind of stuff. You can always get a grant to do upgrades and stuff. So it is what it is. And like I said, once again, I'm going to shout out Mac Deuce. Shout him out. Good cat. Definitely made it easy for me to know how to set my channel up and be able to have the requirements needed to, make moves. Like I said, I've had my channel since 2015. I just never felt the need to really be out here like this. I had my husband and my kids were little, so it is what it is. I don't really know how to see the chats though. I don't. That's different. If there is even any in there. I mean, can y'all hear me? If you could hear me, let me know, because maybe I'm just running my mouth and y'all can't hear me. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes that's a good thing if I run my mouth and you can't hear me. So, like I said, this is new. I don't really know what it is. So, I don't know how to see about it. Glasses. Let's see. What is this? Really? Okay, well that might make it easy. Who knows? So, I don't know. I don't really know how to. Well, if y'all are saying anything in the chat, I really don't know. Let me see. Yeah, we don't want to do any of that. So, like I said, I am still figuring this out. It is what it is. So, anyway, if you're here, I appreciate you. I mean, at least hit the like for me. Let me know you've been here. Things will get better as I progress. Things will definitely get better. And facts, if you know me personally, shout it out. If you know me personally, come holler at me. Because, since my husband passed away, I don't really have, my circle is so small that I don't deal with a lot of people. I don't deal with a lot of people. Not in real life. I probably deal with more people on the internet than I deal with in real life. And a couple of people that I dealt with on the internet, dickheads and jackasses. But there, like I said, I'm gonna shout out a few people that are about that. I met some new friends over on my girl channel, which is nice. And if you're here, welcome. And my email is in my bio. So if you have any suggestions or if you see that it's not set up right, holla at your girl. Let me know so that I can put a foundation together and we can talk. We can kick it. I definitely don't mind talking about real topics, real time topics. However, I surely enjoy talking cash shit. I love it, and it's all fair on the internet. Your mama jokes, all that. It's all fair. It's all fair, especially if they put them. So if I put myself out there to get capped on, cap. But I tell you what, I won't tell you a lie. I won't tell you a lie. I won't tell a lie about you. And trust me, if I say it, If I say it and I'm touching it, it's mine. I stand on business. And I have no problem with having logical adult discussions about anything really, any type of topic. I mean, I don't know everything about everything. So there are some topics I enjoy and will run my mouth on more than others. So that's definitely it. You know, I have been paying attention to a couple of the people that I've ran across that have really stood out to me as decent people. And I frequent their channels and I pay attention to what they're doing. Now, I'm not sure. I mean, I know my one girl, she doesn't want to call names and doesn't want to say names, so I'm not going to bring hers into this. But she real people, she good people. She's so hilarious. And then there's a couple other folks that I find to be solid people. However, how I found them, I don't know if they're comfortable with me putting it out there. And that's fine. I'm not tripping. Because I'm definitely not clout chasing. I definitely am not running to somebody behind somebody's back or trying to talk about anybody behind their back. Definitely not going to do that. There will come a day and a time when I will address said individual personally, because that's how I get down. That's how understandings are made. That's how problems get solved. See, problems don't get solved when you hop on the internet all emotionally charged and make a video about somebody and call their name out and talk nasty shit about them. Nah, that's a hoe move. And even though I can be a hoe, I don't move like that though. I'm solid. If I mess with you, I mess with you. If I don't, I just don't. Simple as that. And I can respect people's opinions and I can respect and understand or try to understand their point of view, but I'm the queen of my world. I'm the queen of my world and I will never be a bitch in theirs. So disrespect to me, my children, or anybody that doesn't deserve it. I mean, if you're disrespectful to somebody, they free game, But if you're not just gonna come for me or anybody I deal with and not be addressed accordingly. And when saying that, I mean addressed like we can talk about it, we can kick it, because I highly doubt that you're gonna pull up. And why would you? Why would you be foolish enough to pull up? I didn't get to this age and been to places and been around the faces and seen and done the things I've done and not be about my business. I don't play games with nobody. I don't expect to get played with. Now, that being said, I appreciate whomever is in here, with eyes on it. I certainly don't know how to work all the buttons and the doodads and all of that, but I will find out eventually. I will find out. I really don't. I really don't know how to do this. What does this button do? Oh, that's what that does, and that's not really what I want. Yeah, I don't want any of that. Although my my thumbnail picture, page picture is just a colored in. It's some kind of thing that you put on top of your own picture. But that definitely looks better than how I look now. I haven't colored my hair or had a haircut in a minute. The ladies understand you have to really, if you want a different type of hairstyle, you really have to let it grow out so that you can get to what you want to do. So anyway, I appreciate all the folks that are in here. The few folks that are in here, I greatly appreciate it. I'm not sure why I can't see the chat, or even if there is a chat, we don't know yet. I don't know. Like I said, this is all new to me. I've always just been on the other side, moderating a channel or two, speaking my language, calling cap when I see it in other people's chats. And So we shall see how this rolls out. Uh, well, in this little bathroom, I think the floor is clean. Yep, I think my little bathroom cleaned up. Let me see. Put this little candle back in here for when somebody drops the deuce. Let me see. These need to go. Oh, I need to wash my little stuff. Let me see. Let me turn this on. Let me see if these make a difference and what's looking, because I sure look a hot mess. But like I said, I got some great advice. And she told me just jump up on here. It don't matter. Just come on and come how you are. You ain't got to get gussied up and all that. And I took her advice. I sure did. I took her advice. And I'm going to tell you what. It's sometimes, my saying is always God always is working in your life. He works in mine. Even when I'm hard-headed and I'm bucking him every step of the way sometimes, he still puts people in my way for a reason and a season. So even through any negativity or any bad experience I may have had when putting support and trust and true and true feeling for somebody's situation, you know, you still may and turned out to get kicked in the face or get your feelings hurt because you're white in a black space. I don't like that weak shit. I don't like it. Right is right and wrong is wrong. I can't say that I don't see color, because that would be so bullshit. Color is everywhere. People are beautiful. Colors are beautiful. The system sucks. And I have somewhat of a different outlook on how the system works for people. I know that there is a colorism debate going on in this country, and I will tell a story later on about my upbringing and how it was and how I came to be how I am. But I really, really believe it's a have and have not system in this country. And you can be completely on one side and not have, and completely on the other side and not have. But when you're somebody that's a not have and you intermingle between the demographics, you catch a lot of flack. You catch a lot of flack. What is old girl, what does Cynthia G call him? A black man worshiper. That I'm definitely not. I'd take a cornbread fed white boy in a minute. Well, not this minute though, because I kind of, be digging on somebody. And I think he digging on me, but it is what it is. We'll find out, because that cat's different. But I'm definitely not a black man worshiper. But I tell you what, I respect all things. I respect all people, and I always tell my kids, like, how you feel is never wrong. Like, your emotions, if you're mad for a reason. If you're sad for a reason. How you express them is definitely a point that needs to be addressed when you're raising children. However, I just feel like at this point, I'm in my 50s, and I feel like it's a have or have not type of thing. And really, when you fall in that have not category, it wouldn't matter if you are the rah of the rise, non-melanin woman. You gonna catch flack, and you're poor just like that. But when you're a non-melanin having woman that has a real attraction for men with melanin, you catch a whole different kind of flack. You catch a whole different kind of nonsense out of people. There's some people that give you nonsense because they are upset that you are dating in a certain demographic, or you have the people who are upset that you've even stepped out of your demographic. Then you have other people who, when you disagree with something they say, it's automatic war. You're automatically, a racist, a closet racist, or this or that. I was kicking it over on Jaguar White's live last night, And, you know, when you sit and really think about things, we have way more in common than we have not in common. You know, I like to think, and really what I do is I like to believe that I try my best to understand why somebody is the way they are. You know, just like, you know, the last, you know, few years I've come to grips and figured out why and how I came to be where I'm at today, you know. And, you know, I had to do a lot of soul searching. I had to forgive my parents. I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive my children's fathers. There's one I really have a problem. I haven't really forgiven him yet, and that's on me, not him, because he'll always be a sad sack. He will never admit that he was a sorry fuck. At least in my eyes, really. But thanks for my child. Happy Father's Day to you. You know who you are. You know she's the only one still left living. You know, I mean, I certainly didn't do everything right. You know, because I'm in my 50s. My dude passed away, and he was one of the men I had children with. You know, but I guess I'm one of them goofies that. Well, then again, that's crap. No, I don't fall into that category where chicks just having babies by men that they don't want or they don't want them. No, because I can say honestly that my children's fathers, they all stepped up. They all stood 10 toes for their children and for me in one way or another. You know, even their wives were, when they did end up getting married, they you know, there was respect given both ways. So I don't know. That's just one of them things I don't understand a lot about. And I don't understand why when, just like, I guess to be the topic I'm gonna stand on tonight is the fact that we have a generation of young people that are terrible. They're terrible, 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 terrible. They have no respect. They have no they have no standards. They don't stand for anything but nonsense. You know, they've created this big 304 culture where everybody's booty hole brown, butthole red, whatever it is with her. I can't even stand that ratchet music, but I'm just saying that those are the type of you know, role models that a lot of our children are growing up with. So I don't understand it. They have no respect for people that are older than them, that have paved the way. You know, keeping it real. When my husband passed away, I I knew that there were going to be people in his family that were going to look at me different. They were. They were going to look at me different. I was going to lose family that I had had for almost 20 years up here, you know, because if they did feel some kind of way about him dating a non-melanin having woman, they sure never said it, and they never made me feel any kind of way. And, you know, some I still talk to this day. Others, it is what it is. But back to the topic I was talking about is when he passed away, I really felt a lot of love and a lot of understanding for one of my nieces. And she's a hot mess. She really is. She's a hot mess. But I still, you know, my godson and her son, same grade, same school, basketball together. So I'm like, dang, you know, she really wasn't on top of her parenting. She wasn't. You know, he would go to school sometimes, go to the dentist sometimes. You know, she didn't feel like taking him to his extracurricular stuff. You know, he just couldn't do it. And I dig it. But I dig it. You know, she was young, you know. And so I was like, you know, I'll do it. He can stay here, you know, most nights during the week, this, that, and the other, whatever. And something happened at her house. It was supposed to be a ladies' night and whatever it was, but how it ended up is We were all, getting lit. I won't get into all of that. What exactly? But it wasn't no crack, so let's just get that straight. It wasn't no crack, wasn't no dope, none of that kind of stuff. You know, maybe some drinks and some weed or whatever. But I was supposed to spend the night, so I was really feeling it that night. And one of her friends took some kind of stance on something I said, which she really misunderstood, and she was loud and obnoxious and just foul. Just one of those bitches you can't really talk to. You can't get their attention, and so she had me frustrated. And I'll be honest, that's the first time I ever took a stomping like that. I slapped the shit out of her. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? And yeah, but my niece should have been unhandled that. It should have been like, no, my auntie in her 50s, don't fucks with her. Auntie, you drunk, go sit down. We're kicking about it tomorrow. She should have squashed all that, but she didn't. And I ended up getting feet to face. I ended up getting fucked up bad. And not only did this chick do it, but my niece did it too. She was in on that shit. It was 2 or 3. It was awful. It was just a horrible thing to go through. Just a horrible thing. And that's what I'm saying, that these kids these days, they don't have respect. They don't have that. My children would never. My kids would never. And when I say my kids, I mean the ones that I birthed, because my godson really went through a number. That's a whole nother thing to talk about. Hold on, y'all. Hey, listen, man. Hey, get out of my window, sir. Get out. Out of the window. Get out of the window. Right now. Right now. Go. No, we're not barking at the neighbors. That's terrible. Go downstairs. Go. All the way to the bottom. Go, sir. Go. Thank you. Stay out of the window, man. Stay out of the window, Bubby. So, what? Oh, well. Oh, Lord. Anywho. I guess that's, I can really talk. I really can. And I've been talking to myself because I don't see a chat. I don't see anybody in here either, though. So it is what that is. I do appreciate those of you that did jump in and at least hit the like button. This dog. Excuse me, sir. Does anybody else have a bozo like this, sir? See, he's allowed to watch quietly, but he gets so keyed up. Get out of the window. Hey, get out of the window. He gets so keyed up that he doesn't listen. Go. He gets so keyed up that he doesn't go. Take it to the bottom of the stairs. Go. You know the rules. Go. When I go. You know who in the natural eyes are you talking to? Go. Who's a what? All the way, sir. Go. Take your butt down there, sir. Thank you. I mean, dog is something different. Anywho, like I said, I took my girl's advice. I came on as is. And it is what it is. Maybe tomorrow will be a better looking day. Maybe it won't. Maybe later it'll look better. Maybe it won't, because I still have some cleaning to do. Like I said, since all the baby birds are out of the nest right now, I'm going to go on and tear some things up and do some cleaning and get in and make it right. Now, like I was saying, I appreciate those of you who did come in and at least check me out and hit the like. I appreciate it. I really do. I definitely going to be doing, my homework and seeing exactly how and exactly what type of platform I want to run. Because those of you who know me know I love to talk shit like bad. I like to roast. I like to cap. I like to do all of that. It's all in good fun. It's all in calling bullshit when you see it. Vegas, hey, find something to throw at him. If you don't get out of the, hey, listen. All right, that's it. Go in your cage. Go in your cage then. Since you don't know how to shut up, go. You don't know how to shut up. dog is definitely one of those definitely very vocal dogs. He don't come up here if you're gonna be barking. Don't do it, please, please. So anyway, like I was saying, I definitely am going to keep. Son of a. That's it, you son of a bitch. Now I've had it. Get your ass out. That's it. Go in your cage. Go. Stay down there.
Registration, expired registration, no driver's license, no insurance. He says he has insurance, so I'll look at that, but we have at least 4 criminal violations just for the.
No. Get your ass. Go in the cage. Get.
So the plates are expired.
I already know, man. You just irritate my soul.
4 criminal charges.
Lord have mercy. I'm trying not to show that I'm really a loudmouth at heart. But like I said, those of you who know, you know, I can be loud and boisterous. I'm definitely opinionated. However, I am respectful. I am respectful. And I have no problem having a discussion about something, whatever the discussion might be. So like I said, I appreciate those of you who came in and at least hit the like for me and check me out for a minute. And I will definitely holler back at y'all on the next one.
Alright, so 2 tickets, okay? First one's straight up proof of insurance is required, okay? From Justice Court, signed 4/8/5/13/25 a.m.